Hi everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw All Might from My Hero Academia. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, All Might. So big power pose, right? Big power pose. So let's see what I can do here. Let's see, I want his hands out. I want a big, strong hand up like this. All right. I think I got the basics. So let me get the details down. And we'll see if this works. Because yeah, I got him in a very huge, big, strong stance. And you know, I got to make sure that it's going to work in this position, or I got to start over. And I think this is going to work. The thing is, you know, he's so muscular and huge that I have to, you know, leave room for all the muscles, so to speak. Like the way I have him hunched over is what I'm trying to say. And, you know, in so many words, all that muscle doesn't bend in on itself, you know? So even though it's a huge, dynamic, strong pose, if his body won't go in that position, it's impossible to do. And it'll look weird, you know? So that's why I have to make sure that he can bend in that position, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, looks good. I think that's gonna work. Okay, so I kind of want to do the same thing over here. So let me make sure. Yeah, it's gonna work. Again, in this position. All right, looking good, looking good. Okay, there we go. So, let's see. I think that's going to work. Yeah. So sorry if I'm going quiet, but I'm concentrating. I'm super concentrating to try to get this just right. Especially, like I said, because it's so I want to say like super deformed, but super exaggerated is the word I'm looking for. Super deformed is a different style. I don't know why it's called that. Well, no, I do know why it's called that. It's just strange to me because it's different. because it's, you know, like the gigantic head and the tiny body, that kind of thing. But hey, that's what people like. Everybody likes a certain style, you know. Okay, so let me get into the nitty gritty, the face. I guess I gotta make him smiling. And I gotta leave room for his big old hair, right? And I'm going to give him eyes because I like to do my style, you know, like realistic, so to speak. And I know he's got like the squinty, dark, like almost like blackened out eyes. In the not animated, yeah, I guess the animated version. You know, the version you're used to, you know. So I'm gonna give him some features though. Okay, so let's see what we can do here with his crazy old hair. So yeah, again, sorry if I get quiet here, but I'm just trying to concentrate on getting it to look right. I get the shape of his head, and then the crazy, you know, whips of his hair. Okay. Let's see. And also I gotta make sure I leave room, you know, because I don't want to fall off the page here. So let me just double check. We're still on. Okay, here's off. Okay, so we're still on. All right. I think that's gonna work. Okay, so I think I'm ready to go. Yeah, let's do it. Let's switch over. I'm gonna erase some of this and get ready for the Sharpie because I want the pencil lines to disappear a little bit. I want the Sharpie to stand out, not the pencil. So I'm just gonna erase those lighter sketch lines because that's how it works. I just sketch until I see where it's going. I mean, I know where I want it to go, so I got to throw the lines down to try to get me there. And then I can start drawing darker. So the lighter lines, those sketch lines, they'll disappear first. And the more confident lines, because as I got more confident, it got darker. The more confident lines will stay, and they'll guide me. Okay, and plus, for me, I want the Sharpie to stand out, not the pencil. So if you're working with pencil, you just keep going. You start drawing darker. I want the Sharpie to stand out. So there we go. So let's welcome everybody that skipped this portions. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point. Can find things that a fine point can't quite find. So I've sketched the entire thing out, and I've left myself, I've erased a lot, left myself a tiny ghost of an image to draw with. Or to draw on. I'm going to be using a Sharpie pen first because I can control the line widths much better. I want to draw the face, so I'm going to draw the eyes. I've got his head kind of tilted and looking that way. So I'm going to draw his the top of the lid first, just to make sure I've got him level the way I want versus the way his head is turned. And it looks about right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw some retinas, the color part, like that. Again, to make sure I've got him looking the right way. It looks good to me. And I can't do a lot of pupil because it's tiny, so I'm just going to kind of dab it a few times to give him a pupil. And there we go, looking good to me. So now I can build on top of this. So for his brow, obviously is going to be colored in more of a blonde color. So I'm just going to give him kind of the furrowed brow like this. And then I'll let color take care of that like this. I just wanted to like kind of guide the angry furrowed brow look of him. Okay, so for the bottom of the eye, I'm just going to kind of come in just a little bit like that, and that's all I'm going to do. I'll let color take care of the rest, and I'm going to walk away from the eyes because they look good, and I'm happy with where they are. So now I can draw the rest of the face. So I'm going to come down here for the nose. And just kind of draw in like this. And again, I don't want to do much for the nose. I want color to take care of it. I just want to drop in those lines for the definition of where we are. Okay, so I'm going to get him smiling. So I'm going to give him the top lip up like this. And his teeth, let's just go ahead and do like they do, where it's just a line going across. So we'll draw the mouth like this, coming across and up, and then we'll just go ahead and draw the line across with the teeth, and there we go. That's good for the happy toothy smile. For his bottom lip, we're just going to give him just a little bit of the lip like this. We're not going to accent it too much. It's going to be subtle. And so now I'm going to go ahead and draw the side of his face, and then I'm going to bring it all around. So I'm going to draw his forehead to his brow right there, and I'm going to start to thicken this up too, because when I switch over to this Sharpie, it's going to be a lot thicker, a lot different. So I just kind of want to match what's about to happen. Let's draw his apple cheeks, because his mouth is thinned out, but his cheeks are standing out. So I'm going to draw his chin, and his mouth is thinned out because once he's smiling, he kind of spreads his cheeks out a little bit, and follow through with the chin, into the jaw, up to the ear. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to thicken this up a little bit. You don't have to if you're working with pencil. I'm just, like I said, I'm getting ready for what this is about to look like. And so let's draw some cheekbone lines down like that, just to stress the cut thinness of his jawline. Okay, so I'm going to draw an ear like this into his hair, and for the ear, I'm just going to kind of do one of these like that. We'll color that in later and darken it up, but for now that's good. Let's go ahead and do the hairline with this Sharpie, and then we'll work with the big Sharpie in a second. So let's draw his big old, his lid, his hair. I'm just going to give myself an edge so I know where I'm going, like that. Now I'm going to draw his big old winged hair. So I'm just going to bring it up like this. I'm going to thicken it up just a little bit. It's a little too thin for my taste. So I'm going to do like that. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's see if I can clean that up a little bit. And it happens, you know, no big deal. And I don't want to draw all the hairlines. I just want to accent just a little bit. But I think it's better with this tiny Sharpie to do this, because, like I said, I can control the line widths and the subtlety of it. Okay, so I'm going to do this one up here like this. Again, you don't have to thicken it up like I'm doing. You can keep it how you want. I just decided on a look. Okay. There we go. All right, so I think I'm going to leave it like that, and then work on the big Sharpie for the other parts. But I'm going to finish up his hair with this Sharpie so I could draw the subtle lines of his lid. But yeah, see, I can control the line width much better than with this one, so I think it would work out much better by using this thinner Sharpie. All right, that's good. I'm gonna walk away from it because it's looking good. Okay, maybe one more line, like that. Okay, maybe two more. Okay, walking away. Okay, on to the big Sharpie. So, now we're pretty much just drawing his costume and his big old huge muscles. And then the color will take care of all that, you know, the pattern and all that stuff. So we're just basically drawing anatomy with a belt and boots. Okay, so we're gonna draw, let's see, his neck. There's his shirt line going up like that. There's his back of his, what is that called? The trapezoids. That part. We're just going to draw that part. So it's coming down here too. Coming around there for that. And so I'm going to draw his big old pec. Coming in like this. The other one's coming over like this. And then I can draw some more of his muscles. And let's just build on this. There's his shoulder. Super big. His bicep. So now I can connect that real fast. And you know what? Let me draw. No, I can do it from here. I'm going to draw his bottom of his arm to his elbow like that. And I can build up to his wrist, but I got to draw the little wing things that are hanging out, right? See, this one's on top, so let me draw that first. Like that, something like that. Okay, so his wrist is going to come over here, crook of his arm, like that. And again, like I said, all that color I'm going to take care of with, or all the detail I'm going to take care of with color. So right now I just got to draw anatomy. So I'm going to draw his hand basically in a fist like this. So I'm going to draw the back of his hand. There's the front thumb. Over the knuckles. And then I'm going to draw the knuckles and then come back in with detail and define them. Okay? So I know it's going to look a little strange here, but just bear with me. Okay, so again, let me define a few things with this Sharpie. And it helps because sometimes this big Sharpie is a little too big, you know. But it's what we got to work with. It's what we're gonna work with. And it still looks good, you know. Alright. Okay, so close that off, or I didn't close it off. Let me add a few extra little stress lines. And let's see, so like his muscles would be something like this. That. Okay. And he's almost going to look naked because of the way his suit is pretty much the rest of his color. We'll draw some necklines because he's got a big old fat neck, right? And so we'll do the same thing over here with this arm, just different angle. So I'm going to draw his shoulder like this, and then it's going to go into his bicep like that. Bottom of his arm to his elbow. Again, I'll come back and add some detail in a second. It's the crook of his arm up to his wrist. And I'm not going to draw the material. I'll do here. Watch this. So we're going to draw the hand like this, knuckle or pinky turned in. Then I'm going to draw pinky up, the knuckles, and the wrist down. Now, here I'm going to draw those things. Like that. Then I can continue down to that. Now, because this is a suit and because he has, you know, the material coming up, I'm going to come up on this side and I will define an edge like that. Now the colored band and all that stuff I'll do with color, but I did want to show like an edge of the material to show that there is an edge there, you know? All right, so let's draw some knuckles here, a little bit of stress from his strength, you know? So same thing, let's draw some muscular strength and stress, but not too much. All right, so there we go. Now let's work our way down to his belt. So again, I've got him all hunched over and stressed out, so his body is all hunched over like this. And let's see, should we put in the muscular detail? Let's just draw the belt and see where we go. So I'm going to basically draw just a simple belt over like this because he's all hunched over. This is where it is. And again, I'm going to worry about the detail with the finer Sharpie. And let's go ahead and draw something in there. So there's the center, like that. And I've got his leg stretched over because again, he's all stressed over and hunched over. So some of the muscles are kind of covering up like this, the edge of his belt, you know? So there's only so much we're going to draw. Okay, like that. And then we can only see certain parts because the way he's hunched over here. And again, the material's kind of covered up there. So for his stomach, let's go ahead and draw some of the abs because of the way he's all hunched over and stressed. But not all of them. That way we at least got something in, we got some muscles in, and then the rest can be done with color. Okay, so we're just going to add a few like that because we know he's ripped and cut, and you can see all that. All right, so now we're going to draw his legs, and again, he's all hunched over, so his crotch is going to be down here like that. So that'll give us room for the back of his leg and the way it curves up like this. So, again, because he's all hunched over, I'm going to kind of exaggerate the creases and folds. Here's the back of his leg, like this. Let's just draw it in and I'll add some detail in a second. I'm going to have it all stressed and bent on itself like that because he's kind of hunched over too. Okay, there's the front of his boot. Like that. You know what, let's just draw the rest of it, then I'll add the detail with this Sharpie all together. So that means this leg is this. Okay, and I've got his knee bent over like that. So we're seeing more of the front of the leg, and this one is kind of in perspective straight at you like that. So as much as I want to draw that length, it's like this, so it's kind of over itself, you know? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to draw this part in here like that, down to his foot. Okay, so now I'm going to add detail with this to add some stretches, creases, and folds. Okay. All right. Okay, so Yeah, and so, you know, the muscles in his legs are kind of over-exaggerated and stretched out and flexing, you know. But again, his material, his cloth, is pretty much the color that's going to define it. So we're not really going to do much besides color it now to define everything else. But I did want to add some stress lines for his musculature. Let's see. Okay, and like I said, once we add color, it's really going to define a lot more things. But other than that, that's all we're really going to do, because it's all like one connected suit piece, right? So there you go. So I say we do that. Let's take care of the rest with color. So that is Allmight from My Hero Academia. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.